Good morning, my dear friends. I just can't wait for this moment. This is exactly the beginning of planting these colorful, beautiful spring flowers. And this is exactly the beginning of filling up my pots, both for the terrace and for those pots that stand somewhere in the garden. Honestly, I waited for this for a very long time. I hope you are also waiting for it and that you'll wait until the end when I show you everything. My dear friends, I was waiting for this so much that I couldn't resist, and I already brought blooming grape hyacinths with me. It's true, soon they'll be in the garden, but in such beautiful pots I'll already place them somewhere by the kitchen exit. I'm the type who always adds something extra when I buy things. So I'll show you what to add from the garden, something to make these grape hyacinths even more attractive. And remember, they like the cold, so if the temperature is above 0 degrees, they can easily stay outside. I'm getting to work, and you! Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because there will be more and more of these decorations. Also, because I know many of you are waiting for floristry, so we're starting with it. Listen, I walked around the garden and cut a bit of those already dried stems and shrubs, so what now? The branches from Perovskia amaze me every year. Their color will go perfectly with these grape hyacinths, so I'll just put what I cut into the grape hyacinths so they can wind and grow among them, some higher, some lower. Remember, these grape hyacinths will keep growing and they won't stay in this form for very long. But if you trim the flower heads that have finished blooming, the grape hyacinths that haven't come out yet, because there are some here that haven't come out yet, will keep growing and will bloom even more. To start, I'll put Perovskia in both arrangements just to have it, and then I'll add another element that's very much associated with spring, branches with pussy willow catkins. Oh, I'm already done. By the way, let me know if you like them better on their own or with these decorations. The pussy willow branches were cut earlier and kept dry so they weren't in water, because otherwise they would have matured. But look, the color always looks excellent with grape hyacinths. You just need a little bit. If you added some holiday decorations here, since the holidays are coming soon, then we'd have a wonderful, beautiful decoration. I think these 4 branches with the catkins are really enough. I add them to the second one and we have a complete set. My dear friends, it's spring, so in spring certain flowers appear in the garden. Besides bulb plants, the flowers I associate best with spring are pansies. Listen, I also brought pansies in 2 colors this year. I really like this lilac blue violet one. Well, am I describing it correctly? There were even objections once about whether I was describing lilac blue violet correctly, but let it be. And I also brought these ones. Pink ones, let's say dark and light pink, and that will be the base of my decoration. But besides planting them in different pots, I also have here, I recently brought from the garden some pots with bulb lasagnas, and here you can already see tulips and some daffodils coming out. They've been planted. I know they're not very dense, precisely because I wanted to add pansies to them in early spring. So in fact, I'll break up the pansies now and plant them in these pots. I can already see, because it's quite important, that even though they were outside, not under a roof, they're pretty dry. These are my bulb lasagnas, so remember to water them properly. We'll take care of that in a moment, but first I'm planting these pansies. Look, as usual with pansies, there's a really well-developed root ball which we can reduce. Don't worry about that, the pansy will handle it. We have to do this because we don't have much space here in this bulb lasagna, We need to dig around here a little bit, just a little, maybe use a small shovel to make some space, find a spot for these pansies, preferably somewhere on the side, and then plant the pansies so they grow nicely here. I've planted the pansies. I actually only found space for 4 pansies, but don't worry, they'll get some water and they'll grow. They'll definitely grow. Here are still some tulip leaves, some garlic leaves, and I think there are crocuses here too, as far as I remember, so it's really going to be dense here. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't add some decorative branches, the short ones, because they'll disappear soon when the tulip leaves grow, so you won't really see them. But you can already see that it's really dry here, so I'm going to start watering. Watering, my dear friends, is very important, especially in spring and especially with these first plantings. That's why this year I connected water to the greenhouse, so I have the water source closer. And I got some products that will definitely make watering the plants much easier for me. At Biedronka, my friends, there are products from the Gardenic brand available, which will definitely make working with plants much easier for me. There are plenty of different connectors, switches, and mini taps that we can connect and, for example, create 2 water sources. Besides connectors and all kinds of fittings, I also need a hose. I have a classic 20-meter hose. But in Biedronka, there are also various sets available. So if you don't want to pick out the fittings yourself, you can buy a whole set. I'm going to connect these hoses, so I need more of these products. Quickly, efficiently, and in no time the hose will be ready. I'll attach it to the hose. This spray gun actually has 9 different functions, so I can easily choose one that will gently water my plants. And when it's time to water a larger part of the garden, I can switch the option and water a bigger area. Or choose other products that will work great for automatic watering. I still have almost 2 boxes of pansies left, so I need to plant the rest of the lasagna pots, and I'll add some pansies to the flower beds as well, so the color will start to show. Because I'm waiting, really waiting, and only the crocuses are starting to come out. Remember, you have the opportunity to sign up for the WOW Garden Project. And we'll see each other in the next episode, because work at REI is waiting for me, but also for you in the garden.